Alright, welcome back, everybody. U Penumbry Overture. Minule jsme se potkali s velkým černým červem, který prošel tujma. Came through like a steamroller. How many of them could be down here? Sensitivita mě ty piče trošku sere, ale je mi to jedno. Každopádně. A máme jeskyni, koule dvere a díru do číny. It must be my imagination, but it almost feels like there's a warm air coming from down there. No co říkám, no skrz čínu se provrtal, skrz... Piče, jsem úplně na kraji až. Se provrtal skrz čínu, přes to hlavní jádro planety Zem, rovnou tu. The door sealed tight with no handle, how it operated. Got to-do list. Strange door with no handle or obvious way of opening it. Where does it lead? Kaj to vede? Absolutně nevím. Takže jedině kam já tak můžu jít je tady. Ach joj. Oh, goody! Pavůčík tam je. Ty hovado, ty tež hovado, já tě prcám, pičo. No židli, kámo, neser mě. Ej, já nestratil! Oka tak ztratil. Aha, já se nedřepal, myslel, že jsem dřepil. Nic zatím tu není. Tu je to. I don't know whether it's stained oil or blood. Pochybuji, že olej je červený. Je to krev, tu na dokumentu are getting newer as I move deeper into the mines. Most of these are dated from around 1965. Strange nothing more recent. Okay, takže od 70. let, doslova začátku 70. let, nic nového. Just some old snacks. A co je asi v nich? Thule. Co je thule? No nic, tohle bude určitě ten, jo. To bude určitě k těm dveřím. Capek o mě neví. Už se o mě ví. A dveře se zavírají. And I did it. Haha, náser si chuju. Mě tak nechytneš, buzerante.
With my remaining ear to the ground, I hear your trembling tootsies padding towards their final destination. Things come to those that wait, whether they want them or not, and soon I think your wait will be over. The great metal door in reality is calling you, just as the Reaper beckons me forward. I look forward to finally greeting you. I only hope I need not greet the Reaper man first.
Ok, díky, Rede. Díky, že jsi to... Jsi mi to řekl všechno, moc si toho vážím. Goody. Máme tady pésky, takže co tu máme? Máme tady sekci C. Tool storage. Šachta 13. Refinery, nevím co refinery je. A šachtu 12. On tu jde. No, ale je u šachty 13. Tool storage. Já se prvně asi podívám do tool storage a uvidím, co tam je. A když tak pak půjdu do šachty 12, refinery a pak šachta 13. Takže doleva, hotová, ok. Sekce C, ok. Sorry, škytavka. This door is not designed to just fall open. I found the door leading to section C, but I need the code to unlock it, takže potřebuju kód. Ok. Ten určitě najdu asi v refinery nebo jeden z těch šachet. Ok. Šrubovák. Bolt cutters, štípačky. Samozřejmě prázdné. Kolik mám vůbec pilulek? 2. Fajné. Takže já nesmím být vůbec trefen. Some bits and pieces not worth digging through the barbed wire for though. Ok, takže nic teoreticky, ne? The fuck is this shit? Co je, ty vole, taká skříň? Nic. Nic. Tak teda se vrhnu. Šachtě 12. To je slepá. Fajn, tady mě vidíš. On mě neviděl? Tak jebe? Do pizdy. Fajn, takže šachta 12. Fajn, teraz mě vidí. Tak pojď, chuju. Do piče, vyskoč na to! Mě nedostaneš. Wow, do piče! Je furt za mnou? Asi ne, ale nevím, budu to... Super! Super! To nechci, toto chci. Ok, takže šachta 12 je v piči, takže jdu do refinery teda. Ok, ten pes je tam. Takže musím jít první doleva a pak zase doleva. Rozumím. Kašo. Samozřejmě jsi tady, ty chuj. Huja. Ty buzerante. Super, další pes. Já vás prcem, kamu. Velká aspoň refinery otevřeno. Wow, tu máme světlo. Super. Aha, já jsem ani nevěděl, že na to klikám. Aka a hádám, že jeden z nich je dole. 3 jsou na vrchu, jeden je dole. Aka, takže to máme všechny dole. Nic nedělá. Hey, I did it! I've done it! Píče. Teda v dony. Mohu tu majít? Ne. Zajímalo by mě, jak dlouho už to tu běží, ty vole. Takový trik. Držte se kraju a vůbec nepojedete dozadu. Já mám save.
Ah, only the engraving etched in the back of my mind can compare to the sight you must be seeing. Now power has returned. I wish I could be there with you, but circumstances do not allow for such frivolities. Maybe soon there is something you can do about that. But tell me, are there ever melted conveyances down Cherokee in the lock room? I think I know they lead. It is some kind of heaven or utopia.
Ok. Baterky, světlice, motor asi nějaký, že? Jo. Původně, jak máte udělat tento puzzle je ten? Nebo puzzle, že prostě vezmete kamen, dáte ho na ten běžící pastel tam vzadu a on posune ten žebřík dole, jenomže ono to jde. I nějak. První pokus, kamo. Yes, let's go. Let's fucking go. No a ten motor bohužel nevezmu, takže tak musím pro ten motor. Come on, right away. Give me. Where is it? Where's it gone? Where is it? Come on. There it is. Come here. Come here. There we go. It's fucked. To jsem dojebal ten větrák. Speedrun taktiky jak cip. Tak. Ale no tak to není zas tak vysoko.
Sadly, pony flesh is so hard to come by in spots, and man meat is so bland. If your eyes happened upon a scurrying rodent, would you deliver the crunchy feast by way of a final meal?
Jasně, tak najdu nějakého potkana, tak tě ho ulovím. Ok. Fuck. Tohle je časový prostě puzzle, prostě musíte jít na ty určité místa, kde není ten kouř. Musíte si to zapamatovat, kde ono to jakože tak jde. Což já teda si absolutně nepamatuju. Kurma. To je. Tak to bylo vedle hnedka rovnou. Ok. Tady. Pak tu. Pak tu. Yes. Fuck, ale já tam můžu jumpnout. Takže to. Pak tu. Tady. Ok, tak ne. Teď si tenhle puzzle moc nepamatuju, takže sorry. Tak, ještě raz. Yes. Teraz tu. Yeah. Oh, I made it. I fucking made it. Suck my fucking dick. Doors jam shut. Takže dveřma nepůjdu. Do boha lásky. Fajn, vole, lupni si ty prášky. Speedrun taktiky toto. Ok, tam ještě nejdu, nevím, co tam je. Ok, návrh slepa, takže Jsem myslel, že nějaká tajnuska tam bude, nebo nějaké baterie, nebo fléra, nebo dynamit. Nebo pilulky, nějaký drogový addict s tom zašil. Hej, všechno je možné. Ok, nevidím holý chuj teraz. Tak. These chains are holding the cart in place. A cart and tracks for transporting ore. As far as I know, they used the same setup to this day. To je zablokované a to je to, takže asi jediné, co mi zbývá, je tak. A boom! Ty pičo. What the fuck? Taká studovna tu je. To vypadá jak třída ve škole, ty vole. Taká učebna. Ty vole. Co to je? News clipping, scan air Tuesday. Thursday, to je úterý, ne? Monday, asi vždycky pletu čtvrtek s úterým. Inhabitants of small village in the relatively desolated northwest have been reporting witnessing uncharacteristically large volumes of seaborne traffic over the past 6 months. Northwest Greenland is virtually uninhabited by modern standards, containing just 0.1 person per square kilometer, 1/3 of the national average. Sea trade has dropped off dramatically since the closure of northwestern lead and iron mines in March 1971. The mines associated with the basic structural failure. Accidental detonation of standard mining explosives were assumed killed in a blast. Bodies were not recovered. Tak asi proto nejsou žádné dokumenty v té místnosti, kde jsme otevřeli ty kovové dveře, nebo kde byla ta páka na ty kovové dveře, tak asi proto od té doby tam nic není. Nového. No locals complaining of noise pollution caused by a high and steady volume of ships sailing close to shore. Unfortunately, in order for any form of official inquiry to be undertaken, the registration codes of the ships in question must be recorded, and since villagers claim the ships only travel under cover of darkness, this may mark a difficult for their ongoing quest for justice. Eric Newhart. Zajímavé. Hundreds of news clippings all to do with the biomedical sciences, local wildlife or field studies. Čo vole, ale to je co, vole, to je ten červ, ne? To je vole baby červ. Představte si, že máte ty vole takovou kládu, vole, mezi nohama, borci. Představte si, že toto, také dlouhý a taky macatý červ je ve vašich gatích. Ještě ten zvuk. Jesus Christ. Ve stole nic. Fucking hell. Images and notes relating to the grey rock worm. This thing is big for an invertebrate. Nevím, co je invertebrate, ale hej. The 60s microscope. Functional for research purposes, but will come a long way since these were common. Noviny staré, protože to je klíčový item. News clippings, Copenhagen Post. Okay, a worker at the northwestern iron mine Greenland is missing. Považován mrtvý as of midnight last night, takže minulý na půlnoc. Locals fear foul play. Mining now forms The largest single industry in Greenland, as the Western Iron Mine is a relatively new part of a larger complex, which also includes a lead operation and is built onto the site of an older mine, later converted into a military bunker and finally closed in 1952. Takže prvně to byly šachty. A pak to byl armádní bunkr. A pak nic. Později to zavřelo. The iron mine retains its excellent work record in spite of the recent disappearance of an as yet unnamed worker. Takže ani se neví, kdo to byl. Co když nikdo neumřel, ale je to čistě mýtus? Že prostě pracovník tu prostě chcípl. Je to čistě mýtus, nic víc. We have discovered that the man in question was a young labor worker brought in from mainland Europe, possibly Denmark, takže pravděpodobně Danec, and authorities are on both sides of the straits are currently attempting to contact any family he may have left behind. The man disappeared 10 days ago and the mine foreman has now exercised his power to declare him presumed dead. This decision, we are told, was not taken lightly. A full search of the mining operation was commissioned to no avail. Without the appropriate equipment or transport, the men could not have survived on the surface. Although superstition in Greenland has seen a decrease in popularity over the past years, some local inhabitants still claim that the land itself is cursed. This very paper ran a report almost 40 years ago to this day. Takže to samé se říkal před 40 lety, This very to jsem už četl. Discussing high suicide figures for the area, but findings at the time were considered to be inconclusive. Lars Jensen. Zajímavé. Zajímavé, a já něco taky vidím. Jsi myslel, že se mi schováš? News clipping KNR pondělí 7. Seismologist on placement from the mainland reported yesterday that a small area of tundra about a square meters collapsed into a cavity beneath the surface of the snow. The land was uninhabited. The area in question is part of the northwestern mountain range, and the collapse was only noticed due to its coinciding with the arrival of an annual seismic survey team. Experts have suggested natural cavities in the Earth's crust as the cause of the collapse, although due to its vicinity to an old system of mines from the 1970s, they have not ruled out the possibility of some kind of delayed explosion or other seismic activity. The probability that the mine is to blame for the event, however, is low, since it is very unlikely that activity on the scale observed could occur without some kind of human interference below the surface. And Dixon, Vidím tu aj projektor. It's badly faded, but it looks like a closed-up view of some species of annelid. Takže to je jenom ten červ. Kolik mám baterky? Glow stick. Si to uložím mezi tím. A coward, a man with no name, is it he who opens this getaway to hell? A grin on his face. He is terrible indeed. He watches the man writhe and turn. Still, father looks on, something vital in his hand. I felt something that time that I didn't before, but I'm sure it's always been there. It is as if a small part of me is still trapped inside the artifact. That's so. There's a mess of statistics and crude drawings on this chalkboard. They're all related to a large species of annelid. Takže asi nějaký žižary, ale tady to lékárnička samozřejmě žádné pilulky. A skalpel tu je. Vem ten skalpel, použij to jako zbraň. It's off from the side, but I think the key is still in the lock. Should be yes. Ah. Aha. There we go. I did it. Fuck? Whatever happened in here, someone must have been in a great pain. Whoa, what the fuck is this? So much death and disease down here. I suppose slugs were an inevitability. Já to nevyslovím, je to moc dlouhé slovo, asi mám dyslexii, nebo jak se to jmenuje. Čekneme si šuplíky, protože to zelené. There's only one green-blooded land-dwelling creature big enough to lose this much blood, and I don't see many skink lizards hanging about. Pičo, otevří se normálně, prosím. Nic tam není. Wow, to je co? To byl fetus? Vypadá to trošku jak ten facehugger z Aliena trošku. Co to je? Rockworm study, professor. These are biomedical journals of Dr. J. Peters. Okay, nějaké ty autocopy in between the dates of 1969 and 1972. Okay, at the Northwestern Research Station within the Northwestern Iron Mine with the permission of the mine core, replication of synaptics are left to the disposal of a mine foreman, subject to study genus Rheacophila, commonly grey rockworm, čili asi obyčejný červ. Okay, aim to investigate the abnormal presence of the caddis in the Greenland rock. Čili oni chcou zjistit abnormální presence. Co je presence? Presence je to prostě abnormální počet těch píčovin. Okay, metoda collection of samples. If needed, they can be identified correctly. Okay, standard series of testing observations of the personal notes. Upon arrival at the mining facility, I was immediately stunned by the sheer volume of fauna that finds a way of life down here, despite the conditions in general. One would assume that species whose natural habitat is past a certain depth would find a intrusion of human activity too great a threat to remain in place. However, almost the exact opposite seems to be the case. It is curious that certain areas of the mine appear to be entirely without life of any kind, and yet other deeper areas are teeming. And were the situation permitting, I would embrace the opportunity to commit further time to study of these organisms. However, the purpose of my stay here shall continue. Me, finally some writing paper. Look at me, just using up the paper to scroll down whatever comes to my head. What's this stuff anyway? Some kind of research paper, no matter. It's paper all the same. I can finally record what's been happening down here. I suppose, how about a year now? It must be near the end of 2001 by now. I wonder when Christmas was. No matter, too tired to write now. We'll rest a little first. Ok, takže někdo jiný. Takže máme jakoby teoreticky výzkum těch červů plus ještě něco z nového milenia. Super. Professor, samples collected. The collection was far easier than I anticipated. The setup of the artificial environment for the wrong moment when on the hinge and the specimen themselves are... Piču, nedýchej mi tady za krkem. Abundant as the may keeping them far from challenging than containing them. They're all a healthy size, perhaps even beyond recorded size, and I can only assume that this is due to some lack of natural predators down here. Specimens are now as follows. 3 dospělí a 2 larvy. Které jsou mrtvé. Super. Me, I've been down here 2 days now. Was meaning to record events every day, but was too busy securing the area. I've used some supplies from the old mining system to wall myself in here. It seems as safe a place as any, so those things should at least stay put for a little while. To that end, seems I've had a pretty lucky stumbling here. All this old research is about something similar to what's been hunting me ever since I escaped the shelter 4 days ago. Don't get me wrong, after what they did to me back there, I'd rather be facing anything else. And after almost a year of fighting for our lives, we didn't really stand a chance anyway. I don't know how many are left inside, but this is good. These nodes might have some way to fight the things. The rockworms that follow me here, I don't know how they knew I was coming or how they managed to follow me in the dark, but maybe I can work that out now. I found some old newspaper clippings. I guess they're referring to this mine. I had no idea it was so old, so big. I can see now why they built this facility here in the first place. A lot of history buried down here. It worries me though, we've been resting all our hopes of rescue on one of the scientists who escaped right near the start of it all. He got out almost as the chaos began, so we figured he might have made it out and brought help, but maybe me and him are due the same fate. I must have recorded what's been going on. Give the world the answers it needs so it doesn't fall prey to what's been released down here. But first I need to worry about myself, find a way out of here and work out how to kill these wormy things. Rápido. Professor observations. The creatures are indeed larger than has previously been recorded. The juvenile seems to still be growing far beyond their natural limits. Although the adults have now expired, I will watch with interest to see what the lifespan of this particular subspecies. The worm appears to have 3 senses, as would be validated by previous research: taste, smell, and an extremely sensitive sense of touch, which allows them to detect vibrations in the rock in the same way that the human eye sends beams of light and proceeds them into spatial images. Their natural prey is insects smaller than themselves, and heaven help those insects, because the worms is a vicious and efficient killer. He's wrong, they have no sense of smell. Today I attempted to distract them with a concoction I found lying around, but to no avail. However, it does seem that they detect movement via vibrations, which would explain how they can see in the dark. Damn, there are almost no way to escape them down here. I'm on their territory now. Lifespan is 3 days and counting. I can still hear them outside the wall. As an extra precaution, I've locked myself in the smaller study area connected to the main lab room. If they get through that wall, I doubt this door will stop them, but it's better than nothing. Barely. Professor conclusion: this subspecies of genus Ziriacophilia is highly adapted for its environment. If released above the surface, it seems likely that it would quickly destroy the existing rockworm population, and soon after that, the population would grow to size far outspringing its own food supplies. Given its increase in size and lifespan already due to the unknown conditions, I would that the worm, if left in such conditions for a reasonable period of time, perhaps 3 or 4,000 years, could grow up to further 3 inches, making it a total of almost 1 foot long. However, should those conditions change, or indeed magnify, physical evolution could occur far more rapidly. It's 5th day today, and I swear they have begun to surround my location. I can tell whether or not they have breached the wall I built, but I'm certain they have entered whatever area surrounds this room. The future looks increasingly bleak. I tend to record here the events of the past year in the hope that perhaps what occurred could be contained or driven away. Now I realize I could write all I wanted. No one will ever make it down here to read it. So why write this now? Good question. I have no answer. All I do now is I'd rather take my own life than die at the jaws of those hideous monsters. I've tied a noose. Those monsters may feed on my corpse, but they won't take my life. Wow, zajímavé, velice zajímavé. Obratka tu je někde? Nikde tu obratku nevidím a to je moc velká díra. A moc dlouhý tunel, ty pičo. From the debris outside something broke into the room not too long ago. There's blood and slime everywhere. Zelená je pravda, ale... Piče. Ale nikde nevidím krev. It's an artificial habitat. Those things look long dead. I think I know how they felt, not being able to get out. Fajné. Příjemné, fajné. Super. Další fetus. Další fetus. Další ty vole, další ty pičo. Whoa! These running scrolled everywhere must be an ultraviolet ink, definitely a product of a deranged mind. But whose? Ty a teraz mě nehorazně obsypalo. Oh, fuck me. Ale je to aspoň ultrafialové záření, což je super. Z nějakého důvodu. Aspoň to je poprvé, co vidím ultrafialové záření. Aspoň nevidím ultrafialové záření. Wow.
While you hunt for those delicate, melt-in-your-mouth mousy morsels, there are places you should not go, for fear of death. The Reaper lives here, just like you and I. And just like you and I, he must ingest the living flesh of those less fortunate than him. There is a small place that I do not want you to visit, even on your holidays, because it is dark and evil place that I've been. When the darkness has overwhelmed my small decaying mind, some bad things flowed from my mind and through my pen. The brilliant blue ink itself seemed to turn to blood into my grace. And by the way, should you turn peckish, red is at its finest sautéed with a little engine oil.
Moment, takže ono se mi chce říct, že Red byl tady v této místnosti. Red byl v této místnosti teda. Myslím si aspoň, že to byl. Takže on toto napísal. OK. Já nevím, tu obratka žádná není. Čiže ten capek, co asi to písal, tak je to tak se oběsil asi. Já vůbec nerozumím. Já jsem trošku zmatený trošku. No nic. Já to asi pro tuto part epizodu jedno ukončím. Takže pokud se vám tento part líbil, dejte like, klidně dejte odběr, klidně i podělejte, udělejte mi jenom prosím malinký úsmívek na tváři, prosím, jenom malinký, nic jiného nechci. To by bylo ode mě vše. Mějte se a čau.